Hi, welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're talking about No Such Thing as Duty by Lara Elena Donnelly. Happy New Year, everyone. This is our first episode of 2026. I'm so excited to be talking about a new book by an old friend. Lara Elena Donnelly is one of my favorite writers, someone whose work I've been following for, 8 years now. Read her debut, Amberlow, back in 2017. 9 years. Goodness. Time flies. And this is her latest book, No Such Thing as Duty. It is a novella from Neon Hemlock Press, one of my favorite small presses, and part of their novella series. One of my favorite things to back every spring is the novella series crowdfund, because I get mail all year long, including No Such Thing as Duty. And this was one of the first books in the 2025 novella series, the one that started last April. But it's a book with a chill to it. It's, very wintry and slushy, icy, biting wind kind of feelings. And so I felt I just need to save this for colder weather. And so here we are in January, and, that's maybe a little up in the air because of certain climate factors, but it is the time, and oh, what a time it is. No Such Thing as Duty is an historical novella. It is a sort of lightly speculative book, tinged with horror, and one that could almost be purely historical fiction, save for this sort of introduction or revelation of vampirical speculative elements here at the end. And it's tinged with blood throughout, because our main character, the novelist, William Somerset Maugham, is suffering from tuberculosis for the entirety of the story. It's only we come to realize some more complications going on with bloody matters as we progress. It's really keenly observed. If you are a fan of Donnelly's work, I think you're really going to like this as well. It's got a lot of the elements that I really loved in the Amberlow dossier and in Base Notes as well, which we've covered here on Bar Cart Bookshelf. This interplay of espionage and deception, this sort of mediation of important ideas through conversations in parlors, which is my favorite thing in a story. I love it so much when we're just sitting around gibbing and gabbing, having a chat, and, feeling big feelings, and, being surrounded by war, and queer desire, and the love and lust between men, and the idea that queer men are perhaps inherently predisposed towards espionage. It's a swish little novella, only about 80 pages, so something that you can really enjoy over the course of a chilly afternoon, maybe by a roaring fire, and just absolutely delicious, keenly observed historical fiction with the introduction of some really delightful speculative elements. Just good food, good drink. And Donnelly is a writer who will always provide us with a drink, because they are a cocktail connoisseur as well, and a great fan of good drinks. And so someone who includes spirits, who includes flavor in the text, and provides ample fodder for things like us here at Bar Cart Bookshelf. With that in mind, why don't we turn to today's drink? This is The Asset by For No Such Thing as Duty. So our main character, the novelist, William Somerset Maugham, is tasked with cultivating an asset in this sort of Romanian nobleman smuggler, Walter Rochot, and using him to extract an asset from Central Powers occupied Bucharest while he's here as under the cover of writing a paper, an article for the Times of London. And so we've got our asset here. We're drinking a lot of brandy in the book, so we're going to start with 1.5 ounces of cognac. Lovely. And to that, we are going to add 1/2 ounce of Slivovitz. This is not a drink for the faint of heart. It is brandy forward, but we've got our aged grape brandy and our clear plum brandy as well. Nice mix of brandy, very fruity. Apropos. And to that, we will add our modifiers. We're drinking a lot of coffee. It's hard work when you're just wandering the streets and trying to figure things out, and sitting in coffee houses as well. So we're going to get 1/2 ounce of cold brew concentrate. And then, for that bit of blood, we will get 1/4 ounce of sweet vermouth. Lovely. And 1/4 ounce of grenadine, classic pomegranate grenadine. As always, I recommend making your own, because a lot of these commercial grenadines are just going to taste like the color red. I have a recipe for the grenadine that I make in my book, Cocktails and Consoles. We got a link to snag that in the description down below. We've got all of our ingredients in here. We've got that lovely rust red blood color, that richness of the fruit brandies and the brandy, the depth of that pomegranate fruit syrup in there, and the bit of complication and bitterness from our sweet vermouth and our cold brew concentrate, our coffee. We'll add our ice. We always add our ice last because we never know when we'll get called away from our mixing glass, and we don't want to come back to a watery cocktail. That's no fun at all. Give that a stir. Lovely, lovely. For about 10-15 seconds until the ice and the liquid are at roughly in equilibrium. And when you're using fridge ice or smaller ice, then you'll want to stir less because that's less dense and it's going to melt faster. Lovely. Strain that into a stemmed glass like so. And there you have it. This is the asset inspired by No Such Thing as Duty by Lara Elena Donnelly. It's a really great novella. I'm so excited to start my year with one of my favorite forms, the novella, with one of my favorite authors, Lara Elena Donnelly, with one of my favorite publishers, Neon Hemlock, and with one of my favorite spirits, brandy. What a treat, what a way to ring in our 2026 here on Barcart Bookshelf. You can snag the book in the description down below. I've got a link to pick it up from Neon Hemlock's website, as well as a link to pick up their forthcoming anthology, Shatter the Sun, Queer Tales of Untold Adventure. It's a sword and sorcery anthology. I'm really excited about it. I have a story in it, so you'll be hearing a lot more about that from me in the weeks and months to come. I'm so excited for everybody to get to meet Phasian, Paragon of the Seven Veils, known by some as the Peacock Wizard. I think y'all are really going to dig that. I love everything that Neon Hemlock does, so it's really great stuff. Got a link to snag my book, as I said, Cocktails and Consoles, in the description below as well. 75 cocktails and mocktails to level up your game night. We've got links to various forms of social media, links everywhere, including Blue Sky and Instagram, where there is always a written version of today's recipe. Try the drink. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Hit that like button. It makes me so happy when you do. Subscribe if you haven't already so you never miss an episode. It's a new year. We've got a whole great year of books ahead here on Barcart Bookshelf that I'm so excited to share with all of you. And until next time, cheers.